Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today's video is about a trip that I'm really excited about. Every year my mom and I go up to Pennsylvania, specifically Lancaster and the surrounding area, and we spend the week antiquing and fabric shopping, and it's just a lot of fun. I filmed this trip last time and you guys seemed to really enjoy it, so I thought I would do it again. We're going to all the same places, or at least most of the same places, but we're also going to a whole bunch of new ones. And the way I'm going to make this different from last time is that I'm going to include all my purchases in this video as we go along. So it's going to be like an antiquing adventure slash haul slash shop with me. So it should be a grand old time and I can't wait to get started. I did film a little bit of footage last night when we were driving up. There was a sunset as we were going over the bridge and it was really just quite nice. So I'll include some of that footage here along with my outfit of the day from today. So this is the outfit for today. I curled my hair last night. I put on some red lipstick. I'm wearing this dress that I purchased from Jambalaya on Instagram slash Etsy. It's a little short for me, like probably 6 inches too short for me, but showing a little knee never hurt anyone, so I think it's fine. And I think the details of this are just adorable. It came with a matching belt, but I paired it with the red one instead. And then I've got my ruffle socks on as per usual, and I've got the Claire's on from Royal Vintage, which are the only shoes that I brought with me. So I think this is an adorable outfit, and hopefully we will have a wonderful day while wearing it. So I hope you'll enjoy this video and come along with us on a little adventure, and I'll keep you updated as we go. Today we are starting out by going to Fabric Mart, which is in Sinking Springs, Pennsylvania. It's about half an hour from where we're staying, and it opens at 8, so we should get there a little after it opens, and hopefully they will have some good sales going on. Because they currently have wools on sale, which is a little bit disappointing. I typically buy silks from them, so I was hoping they would have silks on sale today, but no such luck. One of those stores where you really don't want to buy something unless it's on sale, since they price their stuff with the expectation that will eventually be 60% off. So it's really not ideal. I would have much preferred for the silks to be on sale, but it is what it is, and hopefully that will prevent me from buying too much there, which isn't a bad thing. I was thinking this could be good for Masquerade Barbie. And they've actually got a really nice cotton down here too, which would just be nice for a dress. Maybe it's like 1930s. I don't know, it's like
little baby fabric.
It's perfect for me. It's like a glazed linen. I really like this one. They've just got cottons that are really nice here. Like, I think this one's really nice too. This has some neat colors in it. It's a very pretty lace. Really like this too. So we are just outside of Fabric Mart, not that you can really see it with my excellent framing skills, and that was very successful. I'm really pleased with how that went. They ended up having a huge sale on fabric in the center of the store. It was all reduced down to $2 a yard, so I picked up some stuff for some various projects, and I also picked up a whole bunch of silks. They had a bin of $5 silks, so I got 4 6-yard and up cuts of silk, and one is like a beautiful silk velvet that I remember seeing on their website for $40 a yard, so I'm super happy with what I ended up getting, and I'm excited to show you. Welcome to part 1 of the car haul. There are going to be lots of parts in this series throughout this trip. So this is everything that I got from Fabric Mart. I've got a little pile here, and then I've got a bag back there. And first on the pile is one of their $1.99 fabrics. So it was $2 a yard, and it is a gold glazed linen. So it's actually more of an ivory color, but then it's glazed with gold. And I thought this would be really cool for a underskirt for a Grecian project that I have planned. Then I picked up some very thick cotton sateen. It feels almost like neoprene, it's so heavy. And I'm going to use this for the black portions of something called Masquerade Barbie, which I'm hoping to make for Halloween this year. Then I got this brocade that almost looks like snakeskin. It's a really cool print that it has to it. And I think there were 4 or 5 yards of this, and I thought it would be cool for a Halloween project one year. Then I picked up a couple of shirtings, and this was one of them. And I just thought this would be a good blousing to have in my collection for Victorian or Edwardian projects that I make in the future. I got 6 yards of this yellow rose printed satin, and it was $5 a yard. All of the silk was $5 a yard. Then this is a very similar fabric to the yellow one, except it's in this bubblegum pink, and it has a rose print on it as well. I got this really cool striped silk, which I thought would be perfect for a menswear inspired 18th century project, and it was $5 a yard as well, and there were 6.5 yards of it. This peachy pink pinstripe is another cotton shirting, which I just thought would be good to have in my stash for any blouses that I have to make in the future. And then lastly, we have by far my favorite fabric, because this was on their website for like $30 a yard, and I actually considered paying that at one point when it was on sale because I just think it's so pretty. I want to use this for 1920s dress, and it's a silk velvet that feels almost like horsehair. It's very low pile and very dense and almost wiry feeling, but it's got the most beautiful sheen to it. It's absolutely stunning. It looks almost like a lame. So I'm really, really excited to work with that. I'm really excited about everything I bought, and now we are off to Lake's place. It's always interesting driving to here because it's in the middle of a whole bunch of cornfields, so you really don't expect this tiny little shop full of beautiful lace trims to pop up in such an area. But it's definitely there, and it's definitely wonderful, so I'm really excited for us to get there.
And I don't take that lightly at all. The platform that I have so some a lot of antique walls have some due to what is newer. A China company from England, and they make little, they made a bunch of stuff, but I collect the dachshunds and the Siamese cat.
I'm not seeing anything that would work for Suburban Shopper Barbie, which is kind of sad, but they do have eyelet lace that would be perfect for one of the other ones, so that is good news. There's seriously so much here. I will link their website down below, but the store is far superior. They have so many pretty things. I found something for Suburban Shopper Barbie, and I think I'm also going to get this one. I think it's really cool and it would be fun for a vintage style dress. Oh, but I like this too. That's more of a royal blue. Decisions. So I've decided on 5 yards of that and 5 yards of that. 12 yards of this. So this is Vintage Kollections with a K. The K is in Kollections. And we've been here a couple times before. It's really close to Lace Place, like literally 3 minutes away. And we've nicknamed this the Button Place because one year I purchased a whole bunch of Waterbury buttons and sold them on eBay for a healthy profit. So we'll see if they have more buttons this time. It's just a nice little store. It's pretty small, but it's fun to walk around in. It's a good book for me.
Ouch.
We just walked in and I already found something I like. Isn't it cute? It's got little bees on it and sunflowers. It's adorable. I'm also really into this. I remember seeing that at Burkholder's, and I just think it's super cute. I just really like the color palette of it. Like this has little mushrooms on it. It's adorable. I'm really into the gray ones. I think that'd be super cool for winter. They're so perfect. But the polka dots aren't big enough. So we just left Family Farm Fabrics, and I got more than I'd originally intended or anticipated. So I ended up getting 3 fabrics for Studio Tour Barbie. I think these are a really good match, and I was really pleased to find them. I got 2 yards of each, which should be plenty. And then I also got 8 yards of this Moda print that I just fell in love with. It's so Christmassy and delightful, and I could just see photographing this on the Christmas tree farm by our house and having some really beautiful photos. So I don't know what this is going to be for yet. Probably something 1820s through 1850s-ish, but I just thought it was delightful, so I'm really, really pleased to pick this up, even though I spent more money than I was planning on. So we just got out of a store called Quilt Ledger, and we didn't have high expectations based off of how it looks from the outside. It's in a very kind of odd area with a lot of homes, but it was actually really nice and very modern in terms of the fabrics they carried. They didn't have a ton of fabric, but what they had was really nice. They actually had the largest selection of tulip pink fabrics I've ever seen in a quilt store, so that was really exciting. I ended up getting one from what I think is an older line because I've never seen it before, and the collection is called the Birds and the Bees, and the fabric has birds and bees on it, and it's in this most delightful sunny golden yellow, so I'm really excited to make a dress out of that. And then this is a cotton and steel fabric, so it's made in the USA, and it's a rayon, and it feels beautiful. It doesn't feel like a traditional rayon. It feels kind of like a mix between a rayon and the softest cotton you've ever felt, so I'm really excited to work with that. I think I'm going to make a 1930s style blouse with bishop sleeves out of that for winter, and yeah, I'm really excited to work with that and work with both these fabrics because I think they're both super cute. And now we're headed to Cackleberry Farm Antique Mall, which is I'm in heaven. That is the nicest Geneva fluter that I've seen. Mine was in way worse shape than that. I've seen the rooster versions of these before, though these ones are super cute and tiny, but I've never seen the cat ones. They're adorable. This is my type of teacup. Absolutely massive. So we just got out of Cackleberry Antique Mall. It was just okay. I have fonder memories of it. What?
I don't know.
Someone's suffering from lack of sleep over there.
Yep. Go ahead.
So we just got out of Cackleberry Antique Mall. It was just okay. I have really fond memories of it from last time, but this time it just seemed junkier, and not necessarily even junkier, just there were a lot more like toys and things that didn't really appeal to us. So we both walked out empty-handed, which is pretty rare for us with the antique stores, but probably for the best given how much I've already spent on fabric today. So now we are going into Strasburg Antique Market, and this place I remember being kind of expensive but nice. It's got a lot of display cases, so we're just going to wander around for a bit, and then there are a few smaller shops we want to hit up. But we're hoping to find some coffee along the way because we're both feeling a little tired. That's definitely haunted. It's a little Christmas tree decorated with buttons. This is the upstairs, so it's a lot more display case heavy. It's like bunny heaven. The lambs are really cute too. Now we're at Strasburg Village, which is a series of 3 shops. This one, that one, and then one over there. So we're going into one of the back ones first. They had this here last time and I still feel like I kind of need it. That is an old box of Christmas lights. We just saw a groundhog that was limping, so now we're all sad. But we're at Country Loft Antiques, which is a relatively small shop, but I like looking around in here, so it should be a good time. These little shoe pin cushions, I think they're so cute. It's so charming in here. Look at the hat with the bow. And the purple one. Oh, how I love hats. So, we have officially made it back to our hotel, and we are both feeling very tired. We stopped around 4 and we actually went out to get dinner because my mom was really hungry. And we didn't have time to hit up downtown Lancaster like I'd planned, but that's okay. We should have time later in the trip to go to it. As for the last antique store we went into, I never really filmed a wrap-up. I mainly wanted to go to that antique store because I recalled them having fashion plates from the 1830s, and I purchased a whole bunch for myself, and I wanted to go back and get some more for patrons, for my top-tier patrons, but unfortunately that entire booth was pretty much gone, so they didn't have any of the prints, much less any of the other wonderful things I've come to know that store for. So that was disappointing. In general, the antique stores today were just kind of disappointing, so hopefully tomorrow is going to be much, much better. We're going to some new spots and to some of our favorites, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm back with this beautiful lighting once again, and this is my outfit for today. I'm wearing a romper that I purchased from Topshop, and it fits me surprisingly well. I'm really impressed with the quality of it too. So it's in this olivey green color made out of canvas, and it has white stitching, so of course I paired it with the Claire's in white, which once again are the only shoes I brought with me. And I'm working with second day here today, which is kind of unfortunate, but is what it is. So we have just made it to Goodwill Fabric Outlet. Actually, it's called Zinck's Fabric Outlet now. Look at the view behind me. It's beautiful here. I think I've said it before, but driving here is crazy. It feels like you're in the middle of nowhere. You're just going through miles upon miles of beautiful farmland, and then you end up at this beautiful fabric shop. So if you haven't seen inside this place before, it's really neat. If you have seen my other videos before, it might be slightly repetitive, but it's still neat, and fabric here is really cheap. It's like $5 a yard for quilting cotton. Then they sell a whole bunch of other types of fabric too. It's one of the few shops in Lancaster that does that. So I'm really excited to go in here. Hopefully I will end up getting some stuff for some historical projects. Since the fabric is so affordable, it's a really nice place to get large quantities of fabric, which is great for a lot of the projects that I make. So that is the plan for this morning. It's the view I was trying and failing to show you earlier. It's very pretty. We're admiring their Halloween fabrics. Homespun room.
Good morning, how are you? Welcome back. Thank you.
I really like this one. And this one, to be honest. They'd be good for Victorian style blouses. But there are tons to choose from, seriously, so many. I was hoping they might have a fabric that would be good for Suburban Shopper Barbie, but none of these look quite right. I really like this one. I love the pink. These are super nice prints too. It reminds me almost of a seaweed print. It's like filigree and flowers. My mom is calling these Angie prints, and I don't disagree with her. They're really cute. Love this color. I've never made anything that color before. Reds are my weakness.
Oh, that's your weakness.
Wow. Wow. The judgment. I like that one. I really like this one too, but I think I like the black more. They still have 50% off trims. Don't think I really need any. And ribbon is still 50 cents each. These are all lace fabrics. They're the type of lace you'd really use for curtains, but they're like $2 to $3 a yard. And over there they have dress fabric that is $2 a yard. I found some wools I want, so definitely getting something here. And these are pre-cuts, so you can't cut them, but they're discounted and you can buy the whole thing. Huge warehouse full of fabric. And they've got a lot of like vinyls and things that you would get, or things that hotels would use for upholstery. Then they also have things like giant bowls of stretch velvet in lots of different colors, including this delightful lime green, which isn't even showing up on camera as vibrant as it is in person. And this is $2 a yard if you buy the whole bolt, or $4 per yard. You can buy a bolt of denim for $4 a yard. Bunny fabric, bunny flannel. Oh, so cute. This is the warehouse space where I don't think I will end up getting anything. It's a lot of kind of weird fabrics, but I guess it would be good under certain circumstances. They have minkies and stretch fabrics and stuff. So I'm going to get 10 yards of this one and 3 yards of this one, and then there was a wool blend suiting that I want to get for an 18th century project. I love this one too, but I just made a pink dress, so I really don't think I need it, but it's delightful. And I'm on the hunt for a gingham for a Barbie project, swirl ponytail Barbie reproduction, but I don't think that one's quite the right scale or the right color. I'm crazy about this collection. I just don't quilt, so I don't know what I would do with it, but I think they're absolutely beautiful. They're by Andover, which is where most of the fabric here is from. So we just left Goodwill, and here's my haul. I picked up 2 yards of 2 different wools for an 1880s kind of sporting coat ensemble. So I actually have, I think, 6 yards of this fabric at home. It's a really nice wool blend with a check pattern to it, a very large check pattern. And I think I bought 6 yards because I didn't know what I was going to do with it, and I thought I was going to do something Edwardian, but vessel dresses take a lot more fabric, so I ended up picking up another 2 yards of that. Then I got 2 yards of this complementary fabric, which I thought might be nice for a vest underneath it. Then I bought that black fabric I was admiring, and I got 10 yards of it, so I should have lots to do whatever I want with it. Then I just purchased some zippers and this really cool vine print batik fabric, which I think I'm going to use for a blouse around Halloween. So very excited about everything I got there, and I didn't spend nearly as much money as I did last time. We've made it to Black Swan Antiquities, which isn't nearly as scenic of a place as Goodwill or Zinck's fabric outlet. It's actually like behind a warehouse, and there are train tracks, and it's very, very odd. But the store itself is really large and really nice. We actually went here somewhat recently. We went here in April, so I don't know how long we'll spend here and how much stock turnover there will have been, but we're looking forward to it regardless. They have little bunnies. I still want to get into collecting the bunnies. We found a Barbie wearing the dinner at 8 outfit, which I think it's 48 bucks, which I think is a good deal for that, so I might have to come back for her. Oh, I see Siamese cats. My mom collects these. This store just has such a good balance of display cases and open booths. It's really, really enjoyable to walk through, even though we've been here somewhat recently. We've already found a couple things we want to buy, which hasn't been the case with any of the other stores. Also, there are Barbies here. I love Barbies now. Look at these! They're little teapots. They're kind of creepy. They have lots of hats here, but they're all too small for my head. I'm especially sad about this one and this one because I think they're really cute. They still have the beautiful cabinets we were admiring last time, including the prettiest spool cabinet or thread cabinet that you've ever seen in your life. It's gorgeous. And the beautiful cabinet that would be perfect for all of my figurines. I don't know if you collect Christmas stuff, but if you did, this would be heaven. So we just got out of Black Swan Antiques, and it was really nice. I kind of had low expectations because yesterday we'd been to shops within the last year and they really hadn't had a lot of stock turnover. So since we'd been to this one a couple of months ago, I didn't think it was going to be very enjoyable. But I had a lot of fun just browsing around. It's definitely one of my favorite antique stores. Now we're going to a couple other ones that we've been to before, though haven't been to within the last year. And then we're going to try some new spots. So Crossroads Antique Mall. I forgot which one this was. I knew it was either the barn or the one that wasn't air conditioned, and it turns out it's the barn. So we've been here before, but not for a while, so we'll see what it's like. I love this pink color. I think the china is so pretty. I own that Royal Doulton. Her name is Marie. My grandmother gave her to me. She's the only Royal Doulton that I have. I'm probably the only one I'll collect, just because I'm not the biggest fan of how they're painted, but I really appreciate and love the one that I have in my collection. Mostly because of where it came from. But she's quite pretty too. This is a Florence ceramic figurine, but I don't really collect this size and this color. booth is really cute though. Pile of hats, all of which look too small for me. I tried on a bunch of rings in the other store, they were all too small for me too. So now I feel like I have fat hands and a fat head. We've officially arrived at Oelde Factory, and they have ice cream outside, which I remember from last year. We did not get ice cream last time, but this time we might be weak and end up with some. I'm looking forward to this place. We didn't explore it super thoroughly last time because we went on a very warm day in the middle of summer and it's not air conditioned. So hopefully it'll be a little bit better this time around. I recall the prices being really reasonable, but them not really selling the type of thing we're interested in. It was a little bit more on the junkier end, but we'll see. If that's not the creepiest thing you've seen today, then I don't know what is. Ugh. Ugh. It's a mixture of like crafty newer items and then random booths and also booths that are a good bit junkier. But there's lots of stuff to see. So we have just left Oelde Factory and we were not super impressed. I actually think we're going to take it off our list and not come back to it. It's not bad, it's just not great. It's kind of close to being there, but we just didn't enjoy ourselves that much, and I wasn't particularly excited to come today, and I'm not particularly excited to come back. I'm just going to eat my ice cream that we purchased from outside, and we're going to be on our way to the next couple of places, which we haven't been to before, so they're exciting new stops, which will be fun. I found our Halloween costumes. Do you want to be the blue one or the polka dot one? We see a lot of taxidermy in these stores, but a giant ostrich wall hanging is definitely a first. Look at the wings. It's crazy. And it's 20% off too, in case you're interested. Unfortunately, Paden Antiques was closed. They get a big thumbs down from us because they had a sign on the door with the phone number, and the phone number is out of service, and it had its hours listed, but it wasn't open. So we're not very happy with them, but we're very happy with where we've ended up. And I've already found a whole bunch of clothing that I want. So we just got out of the antique marketplace of Lemoine, and we were both really impressed by it. It was a huge facility, and they had tons of booths, and all the booths were individually laid out really nicely, and they seemed to specialize in clothing. They had probably 5 or 6 booths that had racks of clothing, which is kind of a rarity in this area. So I was really excited to see that, and they had some really good pieces from the 60s and from the 70s. I didn't buy any of the stuff from the 70s, even though a lot of it was really cute because it was made out of very thick polyester fabrics. I did manage to pick up 4 dresses. I got a minty limeish green one from the 1950s, which I think is going to be too small for me, but I'm holding out hope that I'm going to lose weight and fit into it, which is always a great idea when buying clothing. And then I purchased 2 dresses from the 1960s that I'm pretty sure will fit me. One has a floral pattern to it, and then the other one is bright pink. And lastly, I purchased a black dress purely because I thought it would make a good funeral dress, which is probably a really morbid reason to buy a dress, but I don't have any completely black dresses in my wardrobe, and that's just what it made me think of, and it was like $11. Oh, and the biggest purchase I made there, which I was completely forgetting about, was a Scottish wool cape, and it's an absolutely beautiful cape that's perfect for winter. It's so heavy and thick, and it looks really cute on. So I really like made up for us not getting so much stuff at the other couple of antique stores because I stocked up there. But it was really nice. It's just there weren't a lot of people wandering around to help you if you needed cases opened, and it also wasn't laid out particularly well, so it was really difficult to find your way around. And even though the booths were generally really nice, there were a lot of ones we just walked completely by because it wasn't really our type of stuff. So it definitely wasn't as good as something like Black Swan Antiques, but we enjoyed ourselves and we managed to spend 90 minutes in there. So that is how that went, and now we are outside of a place called Serendipity Antiques. It was not on our list, but it's close by, as in we literally drove right by it, so we're going to give it a try. I'm sure POS means something else in this context, but it makes me think of one thing. They have a couple Barbies, they're not the type I collect, and a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff. The last place was just okay. It was fine for like pull over on the side of the road type of stop, but now we are at Northgate Antique Mall, which will hopefully be a bit better. That's a really interesting brooch and earring set right there. Ooh, rings. I love looking at rings. I've gotten really into wearing them ever since I ordered these from Poppy Angeloff. My pansy ring and my Victorian-inspired bow ring. It's made me look at rings really a lot more frequently. This seems really nice so far. It's like an explosion for the eyes.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Some of these booths are crazy. Also, I just tried on another hat that was too small for my head, and I'm seriously getting a complex about it. They have lots of hats here, though. I might have to try on that yellow one. It looks really cute. Never mind, I can't reach it. There's too much stuff in the way. Found some pretty looking cases. Look at all those beauties. Those beautiful sparkly things. We finally found a Florence ceramic in the wild that I don't own, that isn't super overpriced. It is one of the Gibson Girl figurines, but I don't really collect these ones, so I don't think I'm gonna buy it, even though it is 20% off, so maybe I'll think about it. Someone here really likes Halloween. So I almost walked out of that store with nothing, but while my mom was paying, I was looking at one booth we hadn't gone into, just like one side of one booth we hadn't gone into, and I ended up finding $40 worth of stuff. So they have these giant boxes of beads, and I can tell by the hanks of these that they're really old. They're probably from the 1920s. So they're glass beads, seed beads, and they had a box of white ones that was $22.50, but then it was 20% off. So as you can see, there's a wide variety of beads in here, and then the real beauty. They look like worms, don't they? Okay, I'm very excited about this though. Look at these beautiful black bugle beads, and then there are these ones, and they're so heavy and beautiful and just amazing quality. And then these ones are like truly seed beads. They're itty bitty, so they'd be amazing for doing Victorian embroidery or black work. Then these ones over here have almost faded to a brown. Like, they're just so pretty. I'm especially excited about these ones on top, and this entire box full of like dozens upon dozens of hanks was 28 bucks, and then it was 20% off. So I ended up spending $40 and got these two huge boxes of beads. So I am thoroughly pleased. So I just got offered a tiny part in a TV show, and I can't make it because we're on this trip, so I won't be able to make the fitting, which is kind of heart-wrenching. It's weird how disappointed you can be about something you didn't know about like 10 minutes ago, but it is what it is. So we're now outside of Burning Bridges Antique Market, which is a really nice antique mall. It's a little bit more on the expensive side, but it's just nice to browse around in. And we're about half an hour away from our hotel, so we should be able to get food shortly thereafter, which would be nice. This vendor is definitely new. I would have remembered this. Gonna have fun looking through this stuff. This booth looks like a lot more fun than it actually is. Very disappointing. They do a really good job of having a variety of different things in this one. So they have hats, but they also have army stuff and military stuff and action figures, and it's just a really nice blend. It's one of the reasons I enjoyed in here so much. That is the peltiest pelt I've ever seen. There are like 12 dead minks in this thing. Oh, it's two of them next to each other. Silly me. Should we go upstairs? Lots of buttons in here, but annoyingly they're in a case that you have to unlock to get to, and it's very difficult to look at them. And they're very expensive. Those are some creepy cat masks. I'm looking for a keg for a cannoneer costume. This one, however, is a little large. Belts are always so expensive. I started buying them on Poshmark because they're cheaper, but it's really difficult to find like ones that fit my waist that are nice leather belts. So many of them were made to sit at the hip, and that's just not really going to work for me. And I think the only one here that would work for me is the red one, and I already have a red belt, so much for that. Bought a bunch of hats from them one year, and it looks like they haven't gotten any new in since then. So it's pretty much all the ones that I just rejected last time. I just pointed out how much I like this hat, and I tried it on, and of course, like the theme of today, it's too small. And my mom said that that's probably why I didn't buy it last time. And she's probably right. I've become a lot pickier about hats just because they're so hard to store. So it's like if it has a giant tear in it, is it really worth the space in my life? We're going to a hat shop tomorrow, like a store that's just hats. So I'm being a little bit pickier about hats than I might usually be. Guess what they still have? The weird angel thing. There are a couple other things that I distinctly remember from previous videos and pointing out how ugly they were, and I haven't seen them at the shops, which means that someone must have bought them, which is just baffling to me. I'm trying on hats. I think this one's really nice. I think I should get it. Might make me feel better about the TV show thing. That's what spending money is there for. And getting the hat. It's 20% off, so it's only $14. I've clearly found the train section. I love with like most of the rings on this rack, but they all look really, really tiny, which sucks for me and my sausage fingers. So we are now back at the hotel and very glad to be back. We ended up getting dinner at Five Guys and we're both just ready to call it quits for the day. In the last store I ended up purchasing the hat that I showed, but that was it. So that brings me up to a total hat count of 1 for this trip, which is definitely a record. And now I'm looking forward to a shower and peeing because I've been wearing a romper all day. So that's the current situation and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.